Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's April 28th, 2020. I am Jerry Hall, and here are my thoughts from Costa Rica. Quick peek at the markets. Yikes, something looks like something's starting to set up. I'm not really clear what it is. Time will tell. I personally have been taking steps back from previously held strong opinions about things and re-examining them from different perspectives. Now, I had the good fortune when I started the interview program one-on-one with Jerry Hall to have Mr. Peter Sannington on the show. And one of the things that came up was Peter coined a phrase after I explained to him, I thought it was great that he had a position specifically on Ripple and XRP. And I had told him I'd caught one of his videos where through reading an article, he was reading the article, and I could tell something changed for him in process of reading that article because there was an inflection in his voice that changed. It was like something happened. And what he explained to me was, and he coined a phrase, he says, Jerry, I have strong opinions, but they're weakly held. Meaning as new information comes in, he's willing to change his opinion based on the information, not so much about how he feels. Now that plays a big role in this space, folks, because we're in a very innovative time. Things are changing. New information is constantly coming across our desk. So I've been doing that. I've been trying to re-examine stuff. And one of the things I've been re-examining is the stance that a lot of the successful legacy investment world has brought to the digital asset space. Now, you can't swing a dead cat in crypto without hitting somebody who has an opinion on something that you may have information that is contrary to that. Case in point, when the Mark Yuskos, Barry Silberts, Mike Novogratz constantly beat the drum about Bitcoin, and then when asked about XRP, state its concentration of the asset. That's one of the big issues. In Mark Yusko's case, he says, Morgan Creek's digital asset index doesn't hold XRP or Stellar because of that concentration of assets by very few people. Now, my immediate response in my head was, Mark, don't you understand that the XRP escrow account is cryptographically secure, legally binding? It will only distribute 1 billion XRP per month. And what isn't sold or released into the system gets put back into the escrow account. Well, we didn't really deep dive into this conversation about that particular topic. I just chalked it up as Mark has been given that standard kind of Ripple FUD, and at a later date, hope to maybe offline have a conversation with Mark and really dive down into the weeds about it. Then some new information came across my eyes, and that is this. Browsing the internet, I saw from 99 Bitcoins a whiteboard video that they did about Ripple. Now, this is back in December of 2018, but it created this observation that made me think and see things through a different lens. And that is this. If the 20 billion of XRP that was gifted to the founders is included in the circulating supply, or i.e. public hands, So this doesn't have anything to do with the escrow. This is all the other XRP. If you take that 20 billion from the founders, and it's part of the what today is about what darn close to 50 billion in circulating supply, that is a huge percentage held by 3 people. Now, obviously, those that are in the space, you and I, we know that Jed McCaleb's XRP has restrictions to the amount he can sell on a daily basis based on volume, which was contrived from, sorry, I didn't mean contrived, it was conceived through greater minds than myself, taking a look at the distribution rates and how it would affect the open market. But Chris Larson and Arthur Brito do not have such publicly available constraints. Now, do I believe for 1 second any of this in the long run means anything? No. But I can see how it could from an investor's perspective who's not personally or biasly engaged. They're just looking at this from a top-down view, and I can understand that. If you're an investor and you do not acknowledge the risk that the founders XRP, which is part of the total current circulating supply, excluding anything to do with the escrow, can bring a risk element for other investors, then you're just not informed. I understand their argument now. Do I agree with it? No, but I can understand it. I hope that, I hope that just bringing up that thought alone helps provoke some thoughts. I know we're all very entrenched in our positions, but I hope that we will all have a maturity that we're willing to change our opinions with new information. Well, what if we don't want to change our opinions? I'm not changing mine on XRP, but I can now look at it through the way Mark Yusko looks at it and say, okay, I get it, Mark. I totally understand. I'm going to switch gears here because I think so. This live stream, live call-in show that we aired last night on the OTC Live Network on the YouTube channel there was really kind of cool. And I bring this screenshot up for one reason and one reason alone. There is something magical about spontaneity sometimes. And I had the good fortune a couple of weeks back of meeting Mr. Steve Wisniewski, former Raider NFL great, and developing a relationship with him. He and I chat offline. We talk on the phone. It's been pretty cool. Steve's a great guy. Steve seems to think I'm okay. So we're hanging, we're talking, we're doing stuff. And Steve popped into the stream last night and then popped into the call. Now, XRP Rain was already on. And he had come on specifically to poke a stick in the side of Chip. I guess they got something brewing, and they like to rib each other. So XRP Rain was on, and I asked him to chill out for a second. I wasn't going to take him out of the stream, but I wanted to give the floor to my partner here. And as Steve came on, if you look at Rain's face, see, I did not know that Rain was a longtime Oakland/LA Raider fan. So anybody who's into football, and especially anybody who was into the Raiders, is well aware of Steve Wisniewski. And if you could see the look on his face, he is stunned, his jaw dropped, and it was, well, in the radio biz, it was radio magic. It was absolutely incredible. Steve went on to share some of his experiences with investing, and how he got into the crypto space. But this moment right here, this screenshot says it all, where Rain is just floored. Had a good time doing the show last night. Hope those of you that tuned in like it. Hope those of you that maybe didn't get a chance to catch it live, come back to the OTC Live YouTube channel and look for Market Connections live call-in show with Jerry Hall in XRP Carolina. We had Jungle Link was our first call-in, and that was wonderful for him to acknowledge us. It made doing a live show fun. It really did. So anyway, folks, those are my thoughts for the day. I hope that you're doing the very best you can to stay positive, fill your mind with good information. And remember this, with new information should come new opinion and perspective. Till next time, everyone. Pura vida.